Okay, everything seems to be going well. Perfect. Sorry about my computer. If you can hear that, probably sounds like a jet engine. All right, so let's go ahead and start. Um, so for today's video, we're going to be talking about robotics. This is kind of it's kind of a spin-off of AI in a way. This is getting more into a more narrow approach. So the most generic thing or definition for what robotics is that it's the study of robots. Um, Specifically, who is using robotics? Again, Ireland, as all the videos are. Why are they being used? So this is where it's going to kind of get in a little bit more in depth. And the simplest answer to give is that robots make things simpler. They do it more efficiently, more accurately, without error or little to no error. And the best way to say that is precision in a way. Let me see if I can give you a perfect example. Okay, this is a little different, I suppose, but say you're shooting a target or something like that. A person obviously is going to use their best judgment based off what they can see to hit the target, like hit the bullseye. Or say, you know what, instead of shooting, let's do darts. That's better. Let's say you're doing darts, right? Now a human person, I don't know why I had to say human, but a person would do their best ability to be able to hit the bullseye, while as say a robot or AI would actually do calculations, mathematical calculations. What's the velocity, momentum, gravity at which I need to be able to throw this dart to hit it right on the bullseye? So this kind of can be used for many different things. Not specifically just darts. That's just a random hairball example. But another one, like where would they use robotics? Would be like the medical field, production, manufacturing, things like that. So in the medical field, the most common or the most apparent answer I can think of is like surgery, right? So humans are prone to make a lot of mistakes. Now, if you're a doctor, obviously that's going to be a lot less because your primary focus is to have precision without error, because a little error could get someone killed. So, but in that field, there's talk of replacing a lot of surgery doctors with robots because they can make more precise incisions, little to no error. So that will reduce any error by, well, just for the heck of it, we'll say 99.9% times, because robots do make little to no error. So that's why they're going to be very prevalent. And even so, they're being used in production and manufacturing. I mean, you can see, oh, was it in, this is kind of random, but like in Willy Wonka, the grandfather lost his job. I believe it was at a toothpaste factory. All of the workers were laid off. Why? Because of robots. They incorporated machines to do the work of man. So while there's the ups and downs of robotics, right? Is yes, it has all these amazing things, but it also reduces jobs, right? So people like the grandfather in Willy Wonka, he lost his job because a robot replaced his position, right? And so like that's kind of the only negative impact I can think about it. What robotics are now, of course, robots require like maintenance and stuff, right? So that does open up those jobs, but it doesn't necessarily replace the amount of jobs that were lost. Okay, and then we're going to move into our last thing here, which is going to be how robotics help solve SDGs of the United Nations. So I'm just going to read off a list I kind of made here about what they actually do. This is very kind of generic, a little broad. I won't go too much in detail for the sake of time. So the first one, we got fighting poverty, improving fraud detection, improving economic efficiencies, job creation, which can be argued, environmental preservation, and understanding climate change. So all of these are very prevalent to the usage of robotics, right? So I'll even give an example. So like understanding climate change. So going off with that, how I was saying before, robots make more precise and efficient decisions, so there's little to no error. Robots can use mathematics and other forms of resources to be able to understand what exactly is causing climate change, whether it's the increase of carbon, anything, the usage of fossil fuels, things like that. If it can calculate that, it can get a more accurate reading rather than if like a person were to do it. So that kind of wraps up this very broad topic of robotics. I'm now going to go into the 2 truths and 1 lie. This one's actually going to be relatively easy. So the first one is robotics. Robotics are the future. Second are robots have created but also made people lose jobs. And the last one are robots are flawless. So I'll leave that up to you guys to figure out which is which. Again, if you guys would like to know more, I would advise definitely doing some research. There's a lot of amazing articles out there that kind of talk about this sort of stuff, about how robotics can be implemented into future jobs and practices, whether it's the medical field, manufacturing, production, so many other different things. But yeah, that does it for this video. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.